Hi, my name is Elizabeth Campbell, and I am going to describe to you how I use the ALUO process in order to overcome my MCL sprain in 4 weeks, that is, which is impossible, but now it's possible. The doctor told me that in order to overcome my MCL sprain, it would take 6 to 10 weeks. And I have used the ALUO process in order to overcome my MCL sprain in 4 weeks. So, in the ALU process, you list the advantages, your limitations, and your unique qualities in order to overcome your obstacle. So, in my place, my advantages were that I have a personal trainer that not only helps me in creating different different unique training processes and weightlifting techniques and everything in order to get my MCL better, but he also helps me mentally and emotionally and encouraging me through treatment. I also have training facilities at hand at any time, day or night, and I am going to be able to recover faster because of these things. And I'm also going to be able to stay fit. But as I said, I've already been able to do this, and I've proved that this process works. But my limitations are time, and I can only improve my MCL so much. It takes time, in order for the MCL to recover, and I can't control time. So, also pain is another limitation that I have, because in order for me to get better, I have to endure some kind of pain, because pain means, you're getting better, I guess, is what my trainer says. Mobilization is also a limitation for me, because I have to go up flights of steps in order to get to my dorm room, and that is very uncomfortable when you have an MCL sprain, because your ligament is, or without a brace, that is, your tendon is pushing inward, like inside towards your other leg, and it pops out of joint. It's just very uncomfortable, and it's hard to get anywhere, and it takes a really long time to walk to class. Another limitation is that I cannot play soccer, and soccer is a big part of my life, and I wasn't even allowed to touch a ball for the first 3 weeks of my recovery sessions, and which I know why, because I tried to kick a soccer ball at one point and it did not work out. I actually kind of pulled the MCL even more, but of course I lose skill in 3 weeks, but I do have my advantages working against my limitations. Some of my unique qualities that have actually helped me to overcome my MCL sprain is the way my body's built. As my mother said, I'm one big muscle. So, in order for your tendon to rip completely, it means that you have weak muscles. But luckily, the doctor said that I have so much muscle that it kept it from tearing completely all the way through and only partially teared. Another unique quality that I have is my determination. And my coach says that he wishes all the people on my team had my determination, because if they did, our team would be perfect. But the determination plays a huge part, because if you're not determined, then what are you? You're nothing. You don't even care, honestly. But I was so determined to get back in the game that I trained every day, all day, as much as I could tolerate with my knee in order to get better. And another unique quality that I have is that my trainer was able to make a list of training things that I can do, not only in the gym but also in my own room. I was able to do leg lifts, anything, he made it capable to where I could train outside the gym anytime I wanted. And not only that, but he was at hand 24/7 if I needed anything or had any questions. My top limitations were time and only being able to push myself so hard. In time, it's a positive and negative thing. Positive in that my coach allowed me during training sessions to go and swim, lift weights, do leg lifts, do stem therapy, ice, anything that I needed in order to get better, because I mean, if I'm standing around in practice, it's of no use. So he would rather me use my time in order to get better than to just stand around. And also, instead of going, and taking a nap during classes, I was able to use that time to go and do stem electrical therapy, which is where it loosens up the pain through electricity currents in your knee. It sounds like a very complicated process, but it's kind of like a inside massage in your body. That's the only way to put it. My second top limitation, is that I was only able to push myself so hard. The body can only handle so much pain, and that you have to give up at some point. But through therapy and through my trainer encouraging me, I was able to push through that, and I was able to overcome it. To overcome these things, you have to realize that it's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of effort, and you have to be able to put that effort forward in order to overcome these things. My trainer was a big part of this, because he is my therapist, as I said, but he's also a trainer, so he helped me mentally, emotionally, and physically, all three. So that was it. He was the main source in all of this. Not only that, but I have to have determination, and I had to realize when to stop and when to take breaks to overcome my limitations. I had to realize when I had to stop pushing myself and when I needed to push myself even more. One day we were running on the treadmill, and it was 2 weeks out, and I was already running, and my therapist was amazed. And I ran for 30 minutes, and the last 2 minutes I sprinted at full speed, and he had to tell me to stop. And if he didn't, I would have been sore the next day. But as a soccer player, we're trained to sprint and run for 90 minutes. And for me to run in 30 minutes 2 weeks after an MCL sprain, that's a really big deal. And it took a lot of work to get to that point, but I also had to control myself, in that he told me to stop and told me that if I kept pushing myself, it would not end up very well. The final thing that has helped me overcome these two obstacles, these limitations, the time and pushing myself so hard, is the treatment. The treatment was a vital thing throughout this whole process. I would go to the trainer twice a day, and we'd train, and then afterwards I would ice and I would stem. And before every game and every practice, I ice and stem. The treatment was a big part, and the doctor put me on pain medication, and I mean, you have to use your medicines, your heat, your ice, your massage lotions, and also stem. And we also used ice blocks to rub and make the MCL numb. But throughout this whole process, I've learned that it can be possible to overcome an MCL sprain, and not only have I used ALUO to overcome it, or to write about it to overcome it, but I've also used it in real life, and I have overcome my MCL sprain, and I have actually played in 4 games, and I have no loss of skill, and I'm completely emotionally, mentally, and physically stable. And it's been a great process, and I've learned a lot from this class, and I will definitely be using this again in the future. Hopefully not for any more medical reasons, but maybe I can use this in furthering my career, maybe someday, figuring out what I want to do after college. But thank you so much.